My wife texted me, "I want a divorce." All communication through my lawyer. That was it. 15 years of marriage reduced to a couple of cold sentences on a Tuesday afternoon. I stared at the screen for a long time before replying with a single word. Understood. Then I set my phone down, took a breath, and quietly began dismantling the life we'd built together. It's strange. I expected rage or heartbreak, but what I felt was nothing. Just a calm, mechanical kind of focus. Maybe that's shock. Maybe it's self-preservation. Olivia and I had dinner the night before. We talked about our weekend plans, argued over who'd buy wine for her sister's birthday. Nothing about her felt off. Then less than 24 hours later, she ended our marriage through a text and a lawyer's name. Mr. Peterson. I remember thinking, she's setting the rules. No direct contact. Only through lawyers. Okay, if that's how she wants it, I'll follow the rules too. I logged into my banking apps, canceled the credit cards with her name on them. She was just an authorized user, not a co-owner. Canceled the monthly transfer I'd been sending her for discretionary spending. Logged out of all shared streaming accounts, changed passwords, made a list of every detail that tied us together financially. It wasn't revenge, it was compliance. She wanted distance and formality, and that meant no more married assumptions. No more financial safety net she could quietly rely on while cutting me out. Her lawyer's email came an hour later. I forwarded it to Ms. Qley, a divorce attorney a co-worker once swore by, and sent her a quick message asking for immediate counsel. That night, the house was empty. She must have packed while I was at work. I went to bed alone for the first time in years and fell asleep faster than I thought I would. 3 days later, on Friday afternoon, an unknown number flashed on my phone. I knew before I answered. "Hello, this is Mr. Peterson," a clipped voice said. "I represent Olivia. She's experiencing some difficulties. Her cards have been declined. Funds cut off abruptly. That's highly irregular. Financial status quo is to be maintained during separation." I took a steady breath. "Mr. Peterson, my wife texted me on Tuesday, demanding a divorce and stating all communication must go through you." I complied. The informal arrangement we had ended the moment she made that request. Any financial support will now be handled legally through our attorneys. There was a pause, papers shuffling on his end. Then irritation. "She needs funds now, necessities, accommodation." "Where is she?" I asked, genuinely confused. "That's not pertinent," he said sharply. "You acted in bad faith cutting her off without warning." "She ended our marriage without warning," I replied evenly. "She drew the line, not me. I'm simply respecting it." Another pause, then stiffly. "My client seeks emergency financial relief." "Her prerogative," I said. "File whatever you need through my attorney, Miss Qley. You have her details." He exhaled through his nose. "Excellent." Click. He hung up. My heart was pounding then, but underneath the adrenaline was something like validation. She wanted cold and legal? Fine. She'll get exactly that. And for the first time since Tuesday, I realized just how calm I still felt. Too calm, maybe. This was just the beginning. Update 1. It's been a week since that text. Things have escalated just like everyone predicted. First off, thank you to the people who reached out. Your messages and comments helped me realize I'm not losing my mind here. Ms. Qley, my attorney, got back to me the same day Mr. Peterson called. She's sharp, said my response was appropriate given Olivia's text, and that I should document everything. Monday morning, the first formal shot was fired. Mr. Peterson filed for emergency temporary spousal support and exclusive use of the marital home, which, by the way, she already left. The amount he requested was absurd. Basically, he wanted me to bankroll her same old lifestyle, plus pay for her new housing, plus cover her legal fees. Ms. Qley countered with a proposal based on actual need, not entitlement. She emphasized that Olivia had voluntarily vacated the home and had explicitly limited communication to lawyers only. Every move I'd made was a direct result of the rules Olivia herself had set. Then came the personal attacks. Wednesday night, my phone lit up with a call from Haley, Olivia's best friend. I answered, hoping maybe she had some practical information. Big mistake. Ethan, what the actual hell? She snapped before I could even say hello. Hi, Haley, I said, already exhausted. Don't hi, Haley me. Olivia's on my couch. You cut her off completely. She couldn't even buy groceries. You made her homeless. Haley, I said slowly, Olivia texted me that she wanted a divorce and that all communication must go through her lawyer. I'm respecting her wishes. You know she barely works, Haley shot back. How is she supposed to live? She's terrified I reminded her that Olivia's part-time graphic design gig had always been side money. I'd been covering most expenses, but she was the one who involved a lawyer before ever speaking to me. I told Haley the same thing I told Mr. Peterson. If Olivia wants support, it goes through legal channels, not guilt trips. Haley's tone shifted from frantic to icy. You're cruel, she said. Vindictive. She was emotional and made a mistake. Hiring a lawyer and cutting off communication isn't a typo, Haley, I said quietly. It's a choice. Just like hiring Mr. Peterson's silence. Then, she deserves support. You always took care of her, and I would have discussed that like adults, I said, if she hadn't nuked our marriage over text. She'll take you for everything, Haley snapped. She can try, I said and hung up. So now I'm the villain for following instructions. The story Olivia's spinning is pure victimhood, and I can already see the social fallout forming. Yesterday, I got a fraud alert from my bank. Someone tried to pull money from an old savings account, a joint one we'd opened years ago and completely forgotten about. It only had around $500 in it. Turns out Olivia found the debit card and tried to drain it. The bank flagged the sudden activity since the account had been dormant. I went down there, explained the situation, and had it frozen pending legal review. It's not about the money, it's about the pattern. While her lawyer accuses me of bad faith, she's quietly trying to grab whatever she can through the back door. Ms. Cole actually smiled when I told her. That helps us, she said. Shows she's acting outside her own stated boundaries. So now we wait. The emergency support hearing is coming up. Olivia's still crashing on Haley's couch. I imagine Mr. Peterson's realizing his client thought divorce came with a blank check, not reality. I'm past the shock now. What's left is this cold, steady determination. It's not anger anymore. It's acceptance. This is going to suck, but it's also going to be fair. Update 2. 3 weeks in, and things somehow got dirtier. Shocking, I know. We had the emergency support hearing last week. Olivia showed up looking tired, hair pulled back, dressed neatly but clearly strained. She wouldn't look at me. Mr. Peterson did most of the talking, painting her as this helpless victim left destitute by my malicious financial actions. Ms. Cole, ever the professional, dismantled that story piece by piece. She presented Olivia's original text, the one that said lawyers only. Then the banking records showing I canceled her supplementary cards and the monthly transfer after that text. Proof I'd continued paying the mortgage, utilities, insurance, and lease. Then the kicker, documentation of her attempt to drain that forgotten joint account she'd found, even after demanding no direct contact. Her income records showed she wasn't broke, just missing the discretionary luxuries she'd grown used to. The judge wasn't impressed by Peterson's theatrics. He asked Olivia why she hadn't tried to talk to me before making it legal. She mumbled something about feeling intimidated. The judge didn't seem convinced. In the end, the ruling was fair. Temporary support close to our proposed amount, not hers. Enough for essentials and a contribution to legal fees, but none of the maintain her lifestyle nonsense. The judge even pointed out that her own actions, ending communication, and the account stunt contributed to her current situation. I left feeling like I'd dodged a bullet, but that was just the opening act. This week, they started playing dirty. Trick number 1, a call from HR. Anonymous complaint. Someone accused me of using company resources for personal legal matters and hinted at erratic behavior that might affect my work performance. I sat there listening to HR outline it all, a dull pressure behind my eyes. Thankfully, my boss knows me. The complaint was vague, no evidence, nothing in the logs. After a quick, polite chat, they dismissed it. Still, Ms. Cole said it was clearly a targeted move. Impossible to prove, but part of a pattern. Trick number 2 came 2 days later. Olivia's mother called me in tears. "How could you?" she cried. "She's struggling, Ethan." "The judge was unfair. You should give her more. Think of the years she gave you." Same speech, different messenger. I said what I've been saying since day one. Olivia asked that all financial matters go through her lawyer. "I'm respecting that." "You're heartless," she snapped, then hung up. I didn't even feel angry anymore. Just tired. They really thought guilt would make me open my wallet again. If anything, it made one thing clear. Reacting wasn't enough anymore. I needed to get ahead of this. Ms. Qley agreed. We started locking things down step by step. First, the car. She sent a letter to Peterson. Since temporary support was already established, Olivia needed to either assume the lease in her name or return it. Payments would stop next cycle, and insurance coverage, which I'd still been maintaining, would end 30 days after. Fair, legal, by the book. Then the house. Since she'd already moved out and the judge hadn't granted her exclusive use, we filed for formal possession and began the valuation process for either sale or buyout. A buyout's unlikely given her finances, but this way, the record's clean. We're also pushing for full financial discovery. There are inconsistencies in her filings that suggest she's hiding assets. Transparency is mandatory now. Meanwhile, I've been documenting everything. Every call, every anonymous complaint, every emotional ambush from her side. Dates, times, summaries. Ms. Qley says this kind of behavior, these manipulative tactics, matters. Judges see it. It shapes outcomes, especially with legal fees and final settlements. This isn't revenge. It's containment. Legal, deliberate, methodical. Because now they've crossed a line, trying to mess with my job wasn't just low, it was dangerous. Then yesterday, the mask slipped. For the first time since that initial text, Olivia broke her own rule. She texted me directly, "Ethan, you can't take the car. How will I get anywhere? Please stop this." I didn't respond. I screenshotted it, forwarded it to Ms. Qley, and sent a single message back. "Olivia, per your instructions dated, all communication goes through your lawyer. Please contact Mr. Peterson." That was it. Silence. It's been about 7 months since that text. The divorce was finalized last month, but it feels like a lifetime ago. Time for the final update. The last 6 months were legal trench warfare. Peterson dragged everything out, Olivia played the victim, and every reasonable offer we made got rejected. The car became the first real battlefield. She couldn't qualify to take over the lease and flat out refused to return it. Peterson argued it was a necessity. Ms. Qley calmly pointed out that temporary support already covered basic transportation and that the deadline to resolve the issue had long passed. We informed the leasing company I was no longer paying and that she wasn't an authorized driver. A week later, the car was repossessed from outside Haley's place. Cue frantic calls from Haley and Olivia's mom. I ignored them all, forwarded everything straight to Ms. Qley. Olivia was furious, but legally cornered by her own choices. The house came next. We got an exclusive use order, sold it fairly quickly, and the equity went into escrow pending division. Olivia fought hard for more, claiming economic disadvantage. But financial discovery flipped the narrative. Turns out she had a separate savings account with years of parental contributions and a few inherited stocks she forgot to disclose. Not a fortune, but a lot more than the $500 in that forgotten joint account she tried to drain. Peterson argued it was separate property. Ms. Qley showed it was commingled, mixed with marital funds, making it part of the shared assets. Then came the fallout from the anonymous HR complaint. No proof it came from her side, but the timing was too convenient to ignore. The judge noted the pattern of behavior: petty, manipulative, bad faith. It didn't win us damages, but it added weight to our case. The final settlement happened right before trial. The judge was clearly losing patience with Peterson's delays. In pre-trial talks, it became obvious Olivia was staring down a worse outcome and possibly being ordered to pay my legal fees. That's when she finally folded. We settled. The assets were split. House equity almost 50-50, slight edge to me due to her undisclosed account. Those forgotten stocks were classified as marital property, divided accordingly. She kept her small personal savings. Spousal support was limited to 2 years of rehabilitative alimony, a fraction of what she demanded, enough to help her get on her feet, not enough to maintain her old lifestyle. It's contingent on her actually trying to become self-sufficient. Legal fees? Each of us pays our own. Honestly, that's a win in my book. I wasn't out to crush her. I just wanted it fair and clean. Now it's done. Olivia's in a small apartment, working more hours, still complaining about money from what I hear. Haley's apparently pulled back after realizing Olivia was more burden than victim. Her parents are still helping, I think. Apology or remorse? None. She still seems confused that I didn't just keep funding her life after she blew it up. The entitlement runs deep. For me, these 7 months were brutal, expensive, exhausting, emotionally draining, but worth it. I kept my job. I kept my integrity. I walked away with a fair share of what we built. The peace that comes from finality is something I didn't expect to feel so deeply. I've been hitting the gym again, seeing friends I'd neglected, spending quiet weekends at home without walking on eggshells. There's no cinematic revenge, no dramatic closure. Just calm. Reality. She wanted things to be formal and legal. She got exactly that, with all the cold, financial reality that comes with it. And somehow, that's the most satisfying ending of all. Thanks to everyone who listened, commented, and helped me process this. It meant more than you know. Time to move forward.